Stanley A. McChrystal is a retired United States Army general best known for his command of Joint Special Operations Command from 2003 to 2008, during which his organization was credited with the death of Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, leader of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. Born, August 14, 1954, age 70 years, Fort Leavenworth. Spouse, Annie Corcoran, M. 1977. Education, U.S. Naval War College, 1989 to 1990, more. Parents, Mary Gardner Bright, Herbert J. McChrystal. Siblings, Scott McChrystal. Battles/wars, Operation Desert Shield, Gulf War, War in Afghanistan, Iraq War. Stanley A. McChrystal's net worth $560,000. Early career. Born on August 14, 1954, on the Fort Leavenworth U.S. Army Base in Kansas, McChrystal graduated high school from St. John's College High School in Washington, D.C. He graduated from the United States Military Academy in 1976 and was commissioned a second lieutenant in the United States Army. His initial assignment was to Company C, 1st Battalion, 504th Infantry, 82nd Airborne Division, serving as weapons platoon leader from November 1976 to February 1978, as rifle platoon leader from February 1978 to July 1978, and as executive officer from July 1978 to November 1978. In November 1978, McChrystal enrolled as a student in the Special Forces Officer Course at the Special Forces School at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Upon completing the course in April 1979, he remained at Fort Bragg as commander of Operational Detachment A-714, an A-Team, in Company A, 1st Battalion, 7th Special Forces Group, Airborne. This was not the last time that 714 would be associated with McChrystal. In June 1980, he attended the Infantry Officer Advanced Course at the Infantry School at Fort Benning, Georgia, until February 1981. In February 1981, McChrystal moved to South Korea as Intelligence and Operations Officer, S2/S3, for the United Nations Command Support Group, Joint Security Area. He reported to Fort Stewart, Georgia, in March 1982 to serve as training officer in the Directorate of Plans and Training, a company, headquarters command. He moved to 3rd Battalion, 19th Infantry, 24th Infantry Division, Mechanized, in November 1982, where he commanded a company before becoming Battalion Operations Officer, S3, in September 1984. McChrystal moved to 3rd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, as Battalion Liaison Officer in September 1985, became commander of a company in January 1986, served again as Battalion Liaison Officer in May 1987, and finally became Battalion Operations Officer, S3, in April 1988, before reporting to the Naval War College in Newport, Rhode Island, as a student in the Command and General Staff course in June 1989. It was during this time that McChrystal also completed a Master of Science degree in International Relations from Salve Regina University. After completing the course in June 1990, he was assigned as Army Special Operations Action Officer, J3, Joint Special Operations Command until April 1993, in which capacity he deployed to Saudi Arabia for Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm. From April 1993 to November 1994, McChrystal commanded the 2nd Battalion, 504th Infantry, 82nd Airborne Division. He then commanded the 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, from November 1994 to June 1996. During this time, he initiated what would become a complete revamping of the existing Army hand-to-hand combat curricula. After a year as a Senior Service College Fellow at the John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University, he moved up to command the entire 75th Ranger Regiment from June 1997 to August 1999, then spent another year as a military fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations. Personal life. McChrystal is the son of Major General Herbert J. McChrystal, 1924 to 2013, and his wife, Mary Gardner Bright, 1925 to 1971. His grandfather was U.S. Army Colonel Herbert J. McChrystal Sr., 1895 to 1954. He is the fourth child in a family of 5 boys and 1 girl, all of whom would serve in the military or became military spouses. His older brother, Colonel Scott McChrystal, is a retired Army chaplain and is the endorsing agent for the Assemblies of God. He is a distant relative of Corporal Charles Edward McChrystal, 1922–1944, U.S. Army corporal and Purple Heart recipient, who died in France during World War II. McChrystal married Annie Corcoran, also from a military family, in 1977. The couple have one son. McChrystal is reported to run 7 to 8 miles, 11 to 13 kilometers, daily, eat one meal per day, and sleep 4 hours a night.